Hey yo, what's going on everybody? It's Tylarious, aka Ty Killington. Yeah, man. Alright, today's video we'll be talking about the two new vehicles that just got released for this week's update. The Dinka Kanjo SJ and the Dinka Postlude, alright? So, as you see right here, we're going to get into the customization and we'll be talking about the performance of both vehicles and which one I recommend that you purchase, which one's going to be better, all that good stuff. Now, we're talking about the Dinka Kanjo SJ first, and if you know anything about kind of like the car history with Rockstar, it's pretty cool. It's pretty funny how they kind of link a lot of stuff together. The Kanjo SJ is a play on the Honda Civic SJ SI, right? The Kanjo term or definition in Japanese means several different things, but in regard to vehicles or cars, it means small. And there is a what you would call a Kanjozuka in Japan, which is, it stands for basically loop racers or race soldiers, so to speak. So basically, you know, the kids that would get, you know, the Honda Civics in the United States, not much different from the kids in Japan. They get Honda Civics, they soup them up, and they race them around the streets. And they're known as Kanjozuka, and the cars are Kanjo, kind of like, you know, the smaller, more compact vehicles. I love how, you know, Rockstar interlaces those things and brings them into the actual vehicles in the game, how they kind of like intertwine the pop culture with different cultures. I love that. It's really cool. So the Kanjo SJ is in the coupe class. We're getting some coupe love. That's good. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, both of these vehicles are going to just be, you know, par at best with performance. You won't be winning, you know, any kind of races. In the coupe class, there's other vehicles that'll be faster and better for racing, but these cars are absolute, just, you know, again, they are part of the cult phenomenon, you know, with, you know, Fast and the Furious. These are the vehicles in the very first Fast and the Furious. These are the black Honda Civics that were, you know, going underneath the semi truck, and they were pulling off the heist and stealing all the DVD players and stuff like that. So really cool to have that brought into GTA Online. I'm surprised these weren't in the game way long ago, years ago, right? But we have them now, so that's cool. Now, the customization is good. Although I do wish, you know, the vehicles now were, they all have HSW or Amani or some kind of like Benny's upgrades. You do get a lot of Benny's upgrade, or not Benny's, but you do get a lot of like Benny-like upgrades with these vehicles. You do get more than just like the standard traditional upgrades that we get with a lot of the vehicles, which is good because, as you see, you know, these vehicles are going to be over $1 million, right? So, my rule of thumb is if a car is that expensive, it better have good customization. That way, you know, because a lot of people will have the vehicle, that way you don't have the same vehicles driving around as everybody else, right? So that's good. As you see, we're going through the splitters. It's got a lot of customization, a ton. It really does. The Kanjo SJ has some cool stuff on there. And, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. That's, you know, the customization, I think, is a key factor. We'll look at the spoilers right here, and yes, the spoilers do add traction. We will look at the suspension, and the suspension does mean, or it does make a difference. You do want to go with the lowest suspension to help out with your racing as well. But that will affect you on some of these tracks. As you see here, it definitely gets cambered out. Love that. But on some of the tracks, it does make a difference with that suspension because the vehicle will bottom out on certain dips in the road, and it could cause you to spin out. So with that being said, you have to be kind of careful with how you handle the vehicle, right? So we're through with the customization on the Kanjo SJ. Let's look at the Dinka Postlude. And this is a first-gen Prelude. And I had some buddies that had Honda Preludes. They were awesome. And as you know, this is the Postlude. There is the Honda Prelude, right? Prelude. I love it. I love how they play the name like that. So the Post obviously is, you know, after, right? Even though this is the first gen and Prelude would be before Prelude, right? So again, nice little play on words there. And yeah, this definitely does look like a older style vehicle. I would say between the two, if you could only pick one, I would definitely go with the Kanjo SJ on looks alone. But the Postlude does have better customization. I wouldn't say better, but there are more customization options. As you see here with the exhaust, you got some crazy different exhaust options with this. You have the whole zigzag Pikachu looking kind of exhaust pipes. You've got the Shakatan Love, the, you know, the hearts, all that stuff. You got the little curly pigtails, and you can also customize the paint on those as well. So that's pretty cool. And again, you know, customization with a car like this, with the expense, with how much it costs, it's good to have that. You got a whole bunch of different, you got 20 different hood options. Both of the cars had good hood options. But the Postlude, in my opinion, just looks a little bit more outdated. And I don't have the same kind of connection as I do with the Kanjo SJ. I rode in those vehicles growing up. I knew plenty of people that had those vehicles. I've seen tons of those with the body kits. I have never seen, a first gen Prelude. Now, I've seen if Rockstar brought in one of their later model Preludes, that's different. I had buddies, I rode in those. Those are amazing, beautiful cars, great performance, a lot of fun. I would definitely, go that route. I wish they would bring that type of car into the game. I'm sure they have things that are a little bit like that, but either way, really cool. But I like the Postlude customization. The liveries look great on it. Of course, you've got the Princess Bubblegum livery on the Dinka Kanjo SJ. I'm surprised we didn't see something like that on the Postlude, but a lot of folks will go with the Kanjo SJ just because of the Princess Bubblegum livery. I know a lot of people that have garages full of those cars with those liveries. That's pretty cool. I mean, who doesn't like Princess Bubblegum? Wasabi Kitty, the whole gang. Love that. Too much fun, right? But yeah, the customization, great. Really good with these vehicles. I love it a lot. Let's go ahead and start getting into the performance, though, because that's where it's going to, make a difference. And like I said before, it's not going to... These cars are not going to be setting records. But if you had to pick one or the other of these two new vehicles coming out, if you want to know which one's going to be best, we'll talk about that here in just a moment. Now, top speed straight line with the Kanjo SJ. Again, nothing spectacular, nothing crazy. The car does. I do think the SJ handles a little bit better. We'll see that here in just a moment. But the Dinka Kanjo SJ top speed straight line comes in at 1 minute 31 seconds, 0.511. All right. Again, nothing crazy. It's a slow time for a lot of the cars. But in comparison to the Postlude, which you see here, top speed straight line, again, okay, nothing too crazy. I've tested slower vehicles, but these are not going to be, rockets by any means. But the Postlude comes in at 1 minute 34.714. So we're talking, 3 seconds plus. And around a track, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. The slower vehicles, they're going to struggle a little bit on the straights, obviously. But even the handling with the Postlude is a little suspect. With the car being slammed all the way down and cambered out, you do tend to bottom out a little bit. And neither one of these cars, neither one of them like off-road at all. If you start getting into like a little bit of dirt or shrubbery, it tends to pull the car into that. So yeah, the Kanjo SJ is a better driving experience. It is faster in the straights. It does brake a little bit better, and it does handle the turns and the hairpins better as well. And that is going to equate to a better lap time overall. And you do get a better, not only top speed, but you do get a better lap time with the Kanjo SJ. So if you had to pick between the two, I would definitely recommend the Kanjo SJ for nostalgia, good customization, better performance overall. But who we're talking? If you're watching me, you're a money grinder, you got plenty of money, get them both. Have some fun with them, all right? Thank you all so much for watching the video. Let me know which one you went with in the comments down below. Let me know which one is your favorite of the two. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for the Ills Reels content in the game. Smash that like button. And we'll see you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out. Yeah.